Introducing the DRF Cash Grab app, the super easy, free-to-play sports predictor game from a name you know and trust. The Daily Racing Form. Use your sports knowledge to predict the winners, and you could score thousands of dollars in cash prizes. Pro football, college football, pro basketball, college basketball, hockey, soccer, boxing, baseball, and more. Compete against others for a spot on the monthly leaderboard. Download the DRF Cash Grab app and play today.
Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Friday, October the 7th. It's opening day at Keeneland. There are 3 graded stakes, but the race of the day definitely is the 9th. An important Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies prep. It is the Alcibiades. We're going 1 mile and a 16th. There is a big field of 2-year-old fillies. Let's take a look at them. 14 ready to meet the starter in the Alcibiades, Mike. Fun and feisty, the number 9 came from way off of the pace to win her most recent start, the Grade 3 Pocahontas. She's in good form and she should get some pace, but this is a big field she's going to have to maneuver her way through or around.
Yeah, it is. I mean, she's going to have to work out some kind of trip, I suppose. I can't really knock her form overall, Dan. I think she's run well in each of her last 3 starts. She fits on figures. She's already a graded stakes winner around 2 turns. There's plenty to like here. We'll just see what kind of price she is and then what kind of trip she can get.
We'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector. I agree with Timeform US for $500,000. 2-year-olds, many of them stretching out for the first time. This should be a red bar, fast-paced scenario. The problem I'm having is who exactly is going to be up front? Zagara, the number 5, well, she's shown her speed in turf races. The 10, Kaling, the 11, Just Cindy. These are horses stretching out, but they're far from burners.
Yeah, exactly. They are horses who have only sprinted, the 10 and the 11, but neither one of them, showed huge speed in those races. Certainly enough speed, to be tactical, going 6 and 7 furlongs, but they weren't exactly blazers. We'll see. I agree with you. I think the pace could get heated. I just don't know who's going to be up there for sure.
The number 1, Wonder Wheel, figures to take advantage of her good tactical speed as well as her inside post position as she stretches out around 2 turns for the first time. She just ran second in the Grade 1 spin away at Saratoga, going 7/8. We're going to watch that race right now. Wonder Wheel finishes ahead of 3 of these foes. She stayed relatively close to a pretty quick pace. She gets to the outside and she runs second to a sharp horse that would come back to run third in the Grade 1 Frisette with a 77 buyer.
Right. I mean, she did run, fine in here, I suppose. She did get a good trip, though, Dan. Broke from the outside, just sat right behind that eventual winner, leave no trace until they came to the top of the stretch. And you can see here through the, the final part of this race that we're showing, she just couldn't make up any ground on that filly and settled for second best. I can't say that I loved the way that she finished. I wasn't totally sold on her off of her wins in her first 2 career starts either. She could easily win here. I'm not going to sit here and knock her, but I'm not going to bet her either.
9-2 on the morning line, Tyler Gaffalione, Mark Cassidy. She's done little wrong. That last race came off of a slight 2-month layoff. The 2's Chop Chop, who's raced exclusively on turf in her 2-race career, and she's done nothing wrong. She won both starts, including a race over Yielding Going at Kentucky Downs last time out. She's by City of Light, Mike. That horse really appreciated the dirt, and considering what she's done, this is a pretty confident move from Brad Cox. This horse would have fit just fine in the Jessamine.
Yeah, there are a couple of horses in this field who would have looked really good in the Jessamine, but they're going to take their chances on dirt. And I can't really argue with that, I don't think, Dan. I mean, I guess if you have a talented 2-year-old filly at this point, you want to see if she'll dirt and then point for the, the major Breeders' Cup race. If you can get there. This horse, I'm with you. I think she's run fine in both of her starts. That Kentucky Downs race last time, I guess we'll see how the form from that one plays out. It was yielding turf. It was running an absolute downpour. The 1, 2, 3 finishers were all right up close to the pace in there. I don't know. This is the horse that came out on top. Another horse I can't knock. We'll see what kind of price she is.
She is 12-1 on the morning line for the powerhouse trainer-jockey combination of Cox, Jewel, Rosario. A couple of promising 5/8 workouts. Breezes at Churchill Downs on the main track. Stellar Lady is the 3, and although Stellar Lady graduated on turf last time out at Kentucky Downs, her one and only dirt start was promising at Saratoga. Let's watch that race, Mike. Career debut early in the meet, a race that produced 3 next-out winners, including Leave No Trace, who we saw beat Wonder Wheel in the spin-away. Stellar Lady, it took her a while to find her stride, but she finishes just fine for second.
I like this performance from her. Just got outpaced early in this race. It seemed like that 5.5 was too short for her. I like the run that she puts in through the stretch here. Obviously, she's got really no chance with Leave No Trace here, but she's making up ground all the way, and she's far from all in at the end of this race, too. I get that she had some turf pedigree and they switched to turf and she ran fine on that surface as well. I like her coming back to dirt. She's a huge price on the morning line and I'm using her.
Raging Sea is the number 4. Chad Brown debuted the starter of Keeneland going 7/8 of a mile, perhaps with an eye to something longer down the road, and she was very professional winning her race. The trip worked out as we take a look at Raging Sea's performance, but she took dirt early, tracking in between horses. We see the hole open up right here, and Raging Sea punches on through. Then she engages in a little bit of a dogfight, and she gets the best of the runner-up in the final 16th.
Yeah, I liked everything about this debut for all the things that you saw, the things that I saw, Dan. Very professional. She's very game to get the job done at the end here. This is a 7-furlong debut, which, it's just not that easy to win races like that first time out as a 2-year-old. All those things are positives, and she got a figure for it, and she's just bred to get better with time and distance. I guess it's maybe worth noting that Chad did enter her in the Frisette last weekend. The track came up sloppy. He scratched her. He runs her here. I have no problem with any of that stuff, Dan. I think she's going to be tough in here. The one thing that's bothered me a little bit is the form from that debut race. Just about everybody's already run back out of there, and nobody's run well at all.
Jose Ortiz aboard for Chad, 6-1 on the morning line. Gisera, the number 5, has run twice on turf. Understandable. She's a half to a grade 3 winner on the grass, a grade 2 placed runner on the turf. But the Dam was a stakes winner sprinting on the main track. This filly has shown good tactical speed in her races. And I like the way she finished off her field second time out at Saratoga. Very underrated barn, Mike.
She was really, you're right, very underrated barn. She was super impressive breaking her maiden last time. Also ran a terrific race first time out, Dan. Got run down by a Chad Brown first with a 3rd place finish in that race. Also looks good. She's in the Jessamine earlier on this card. I don't know. I think there's a lot to like here. They're taking a shot here to see if they can make the Breeders' Cup Juvenile fillies. And if she handles dirt, I think she could beat this field.
The number 6 Mustang Lady is going to have to improve off of her Beyer speed figure earned in her one and only start on dirt. But if you think this pace is fast and it could come apart, it could work to the benefit of Mustang Lady based on her one and only start on dirt. Let's watch that 5.5 furlong off-turf race at Ellis Park. She's got a lot of work to make up, Mike, and she runs by these horses in the stretch.
Yeah, it came with a pretty good finish in here. Did have an awful lot of ground to close, and it's not easy to do that as a first-time starter, but she erases the big deficit. She is staying on pretty well to the end here, Dan, in the 5.5 furlong race. So I guess that could give you some confidence that she'll stretch out effectively here. I wonder if she's the best closer in this race, even if she does catch pace.
The 42 Beyer in the debut again needs to improve. Chase Chop on turf last time out. Asora, the number 7, goes out for Graham Motion. This horse moved from turf to dirt, stretching out in the second start. Motion is exceptional second out. He found a great spot for Asora. Let's watch this field. She was bet down to even money. Asora got up close to the pace, and once she makes the front, it's showtime.
Yeah, I mean, the horse that's on the lead that runs up running second here was on the lead the entire way. That's a first-time starter. Asora just had a good trip right off of that horse, and she is able to. I'm going to say she sort of grinds away from this horse here, Dan. There's nobody else in this field doing any running at all, so you don't have to worry about them. I thought she ran okay here. It's not necessarily the kind of performance that made me want to bet her back in a graded stakes race, but she certainly ran well. She's got plenty of pedigree to continue going on, and she has good connections in her corner.
The 8 Infinite Diamond will stretch out around 2 turns for the first time, like many of these, but she's already won at a mile. This at Gulfstream Park in her 3rd lifetime start. Now, she got a really clever ride in this race as the heavy favorite. First-time blinkers, they showed speed. She was able to control a very easy pace, and she just beat an overmatched group.
Yeah, just totally dominates these horses. Obviously, a big step in the right direction for her. It's not like her first 2 starts were terrible performances. So it felt like maybe she was sitting on one like this. She came through in the end. The horse that was second to her was a first-time starter. Just makes it a little bit more difficult to evaluate what she was beating at.
The 9 Fun and Feisty might be the best closer in this race, and the expected hot pace really should help her out. She scored 2 back, going 3/4 of a mile at Churchill from just off the pace. She was outrun early in the Pocahontas, but she settled in a good spot under Leperoux, and she looked strong in the stretch of that race. It just looks like she still has some upside, Mike, and she'll be rolling in the lane.
Agree with all that stuff. I don't have any real knocks on her. I just don't know that this is the kind of race where, I'm necessarily looking to take short prices on horses, and it feels like she could be the favorite. But based on what she's done so far, she probably should be the favorite.
The 10 Keeneland did some good things in her career debut for trainer Todd Pletcher at Saratoga with a good trip. She prompted the pace inside. She ended up in the pocket on the far turn, got to the outside. She was better than those horses. Of the pace horses, she might have finished best in the spin away. I thought that pace was pretty solid, and she was up close after breaking from the inside post. I do have questions about 2 turns, especially at a relatively short price.
Yeah, I have questions about how far she wants to go as well. I liked her career debut. I thought she ran well in that race. As far as the spin away goes, all right, she didn't break that great from the rail, but all in all, very quickly recovered, got a very good trip, cut the corner to make the lead at the top of the stretch. And listen, she dueled with Leave No Trace down to about the 8th pole. And Dan, I just personally didn't like the way that she finished in there. And it makes me wonder how far she wants to go.
Just Cindy the 10. I wonder if she gets lost in the shuffle a little bit. She's a daughter of the red hot Triple Crown winner Justified. This is his first crop. She won her first 2 starts. While it wasn't blown away with the Schuylerville, it was a promising enough effort. And last time out in the spin away, maybe the break just got her. She didn't get away very well.
Yeah, didn't break great after that. I didn't really see the big excuse for her in there, Dan. She just couldn't make her presence felt. I remember her connections discussing her after the Schuylerville, saying that they just couldn't wait to stretch her out. They think that's what that's what she really wants to do. We'll see if she gets better stretching out, because she's going to have to.
The 12 Take Charge Brianna won start number 3 for trainer Wayne Lucas. This at Saratoga. Very hardy filly, starting 3 times during the Saratoga meeting. Let's watch Take Charge Brianna, and she comes from way out of it, benefiting from a fast pace in the 7/8 of a mile distance. But looking at this pedigree, here's a filly that should really appreciate the extra distance.
Yeah, she's bred to stretch out, and she's run really well in all 3 of her starts so far. This is a really good performance. There was some pace in front of her here, but she had real trouble at the start, lost a ton of position, and erases it all with a really good finish. She also ran very well, I thought, 2 starts back behind Chocolate Gelato, who just came back to win a Grade 1 in New York. I think this horse is super dangerous in here if she can get a trip from the far outside.
Incremental steps forward for the 13 Sabra Tough, who was 3rd in the Adirondack early in the Saratoga meet, then 5th in the spin away. Another filly that might take advantage of a very fast pace. We've seen this before with longer priced horses trained by Dallas Stewart. Sometimes they benefit from more distance and a little bit of pace up front, but she will have to improve drastically. She's also 50 to 1 on the line.
Yeah, you're going to get paid if you can get her in there somewhere. She's a horse who I'll admit that I've been following a little bit, Dan. They've been running her in stakes races since she just held on to win first time out. And the more I watched her run, the more I felt like maybe more distance is what she really wanted. And those the sprint stakes races didn't really suit her. That being said, I thought overall Franco did just about everything right in the spin away last time, got her into position, and she really didn't kick that hard.
Like Raging Sea, the 14 Boss Lady Bailey won at the demanding 7/8 of a mile in her career debut. Showed some guts to win that race. She ran fine, I guess, in the Grade 3 Pocahontas when being defeated by Fun and Feisty. Boss Lady Bailey, though, in this race has such a difficult outside post position. She's going to have to work out a trip.
Yeah, broke from the rail last time and wasn't just, I mean, she ran fine in that race, but she didn't run as well as the winner, who's also back in here. And now she's got to overcome post 14. There's a lot working against her.
Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video opportunities. So many ways to go in this race, Mike. I'm a bit surprised we'll land on the same horse. Raging Sea won at that strong 7/8 of a mile distance. Not easy for a first-time starter. I think Chad put her in there because he knows she wants distance.
Yeah, I mean, that's what her pedigree says. And all in all, she ran fine in there. I'm a little surprised we landed on the same horse too, Dan, mostly because I didn't think I was going to pick this horse until right up at the end. I was interested in Zygera, the horse right next to her, but she's only 5 to 1 on the line, and I don't want her making her dirt debut at any kind of a short price. I guess if I could do it again, maybe I would have put the 3 Stellar Lady on top. I really liked her debut on dirt. I like her coming back to this surface.
And winner of that race, Leave No Trace, did come back to win the spin away, a Grade 1, just ran 3rd in a sloppy edition of the Frisette, and will be one of the favorites in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. You're getting 30 to 1 on Stellar Lady in sharp form, the only dirt race second to that one. Mike's going 4-3-5-9. I'm going 4-9-10-8. Watch the board, though, in the Alcibiades and look for some value. It's a nice prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. This on opening day at Keeneland on Friday. Good luck.